Let me tell you a ghost story. It is not about monsters hiding under your bed. It is about a promise. A deal that was made long before you were born. The deal was simple. It was beautiful. It whispered to you since you were a child. It said that if you go to school, if you follow the rules, if you work hard and stay out of trouble, you get the prize. You get the keys to the kingdom, a place to call your own, a backyard for the dog, a safe harbor where no one can tell you what to do. They called it the American dream, and for a long time, it was real. But wake up. Look around you right now. Where is it? Where is the deal? Because from where I am standing, the script has changed. You did your part. You got the degree. You took the unpaid internship. You stopped buying the $7 coffee. You grind 60 hours a week until your eyes burn. And in return, what did you get? You got a landlord who raises your rent by 20% because he can. You got a credit score that drops if you sneeze too loud. You got a shoebox apartment that costs more than your parents' entire mortgage in 1985. You feel like you are running on a treadmill that has been set to kill mode. And here is the part that keeps you awake at 3 in the morning. The guilt. Your parents look at you with confusion. They ask why you have not settled down yet. They tell you just need to save more. They do not understand that the game is not just harder. The game is broken. I am here to tell you something that might save your sanity. Listen to me closely. You are not lazy. You are not bad with money. You are not a failure. You are the victim of the greatest gaslighting campaign in economic history. Welcome to the new feudalism. Let me show you who stole your future. Let us strip away the feelings for a moment. Let us ignore the politics and the headlines and look at the cold hard mathematics of your existence. Because numbers do not lie. Numbers do not care about your feelings. And the numbers are screaming that you have been robbed. Travel back with me to 1980. Picture your father. He is 25 years old. Maybe he works at a factory. Maybe he pushes paper at a desk. He does not have a side hustle. He does not trade crypto at 2 in the morning. He makes about $20,000 a year. Now look at the house he wants to buy. A nice 3-bedroom place in the suburbs. It costs about $47,000. Do the math in your head. The house costs a little over 2 times his annual salary. He walks into the bank. He shakes the banker's hand. He gets a mortgage that costs him a few $100 a month. He pays for it with 1 week of work. The rest of the month is for living, for saving, for building a life. Now fast forward to today. To your life. You did everything right. You got the promotion. You are making $60,000 a year, maybe even 80. You feel like you should be crushing it. But pull up Zillow on your phone right now. Look at that same house your dad bought. It is not $47,000 anymore. It is $400,000. In cities like Austin or Boston or Los Angeles, it is pushing $1 million. The ratio is not 2 to 1 anymore. It is 8 to 1, 10 to 1, sometimes 12 to 1. This is not just inflation. This is strangulation. You are trying to buy a 1980 lifestyle with 2024 money that has lost its soul. And here is the insult added to the injury. The older generation. The boomers sitting on their paid-off porches. They tell you to just budget better. They tell you to cut out the streaming services. They do not understand that you could cancel Netflix for the next 500 years, and you still would not have enough for a down payment. Let me break down the great lie of the 6-figure salary. Growing up, we were told that $100,000 a year was the golden ticket. It was the finish line. If you made 6 figures, you were rich. You were elite. Today in most major American cities, $100,000 is not rich. It is barely survival. In places like San Francisco or New York, the government actually classifies a single person making $100,000 as low income. Let that sink in. You are in the top tier of earners in human history, and you are statistically eligible for housing assistance. This phenomenon has a name. Economists call it compression. I call it the death of the middle class. The gap between the poor and the middle class has vanished. There are only 2 classes left now. The people who own assets and the people who pay them rent. You are working harder than any generation before you. You are more productive. You are more educated. But your purchasing power has been hollowed out from the inside. You are not climbing a ladder. You are falling down a well while people at the top scream at you to climb faster. And the worst part is, you think it is your fault. You look at your bank account at the end of the month and wonder where it all went. It went to the new math. The math that was designed to make sure you never own anything. But who designed it? Who benefits when you stay a renter forever? It is not an accident. It is an algorithm. So we establish that the math is rigged. But math does not have agency. Math does not wake up in the morning and decide to ruin your life. People do. Systems do. And this leads us to the darkest chapter of our story. The moment when the American neighborhood stopped being a community and started being an asset class. Imagine this scenario. It happens every single weekend in cities like Atlanta or Phoenix or Charlotte. You and your partner finally find a house. It is not perfect. The kitchen is dated and the carpet smells like 1999. But it has good bones. It is close to a decent school. You fall in love. You scrape together every penny you have. You write a heartfelt letter to the seller promising to take care of their garden. You offer $20,000 over the asking price. You hold your breath and you wait. And then you get the call. You lost. You did not just lose. You were crushed. You ask your realtor what happened. Did another family bid higher? Did they write a better letter? And the realtor sighs and tells you the truth. No, it was a cash offer, no inspection, no contingencies, closing in 7 days. Who has that kind of cash lying around? Who buys a $300,000 house without even stepping foot inside to check if the roof is leaking? Meet your new competition. It is not the nice couple from down the street. It is a multi-billion-dollar hedge fund from Wall Street. It is a private equity firm managing pension funds. It is a faceless LLC with an address in a skyscraper in Delaware. Since the financial crash of 2008, these institutional giants discovered a new secret weapon. They realized that Americans will stop paying their credit cards, and they will stop buying new cars, but they will never stop paying for a roof over their heads. Housing is essential. And in the eyes of Wall Street, that makes it the perfect prey. They created algorithms that scan listings faster than you can refresh your browser. When a starter home hits the market that fits their criteria, the computer triggers a buy order instantly. They scoop up thousands of single-family homes a month. They paint them all the same shade of beige. They install the same cheap smart locks. And they put them back on the market. But not for sale. Never for sale. For rent. This is the birth of the rentership society. The goal is simple and terrifying. They want to turn housing into a subscription service. Just like you subscribe to Netflix or Spotify, they want you to subscribe to living. Why let you own an asset that builds wealth for your family when they can keep that asset on their balance sheet and milk you for rent for the next 40 years? And look at what this does to the soul of a neighborhood. When a family buys a home, they plant trees. They join the school board. They care if the sidewalk is cracked. When a hedge fund buys a home, it is just a line on a spreadsheet. There is no pride of ownership. There is only yield. You call the landlord because the water heater exploded, and you do not get a person. You get a call center in another country. You get a ticket number. You are not a neighbor anymore. You are a revenue stream. In some zip codes in Atlanta, institutional investors bought 90% of the homes for sale in a single year. 90%. That is not a market. That is a monopoly. They are cornering the market on the American dream and selling it back to you 1 month at a time at a premium price. And the most twisted part of this tragedy is where the money comes from. A lot of these funds manage retirement accounts. So in a sick, ironic twist, your own 401k might be investing in the very companies that are outbidding you for a house. You are literally funding your own destruction. They tell us this is just the free market at work. They say they are providing a service. But let us call it what it really is. This is a transfer of wealth from the working class to the capital class on a scale we have never seen before. They are pulling up the ladder. They are locking the gates. And they are leaving an entire generation standing on the front lawn with a moving box in their hands, wondering why the key no longer fits the lock. This is not just business. This is the theft of your future. And they are doing it in broad daylight. Let us step away from the spreadsheets and the hedge funds for a moment. Let us talk about what happens inside your head when the concept of home becomes a luxury item. Because the true cost of this crisis is not measured in dollars. It is measured in dignity. It is measured in the slow erosion of your self-worth. There is a specific kind of humiliation that comes with being a tenant in your 30s or 40s. You are a grown adult. You manage a team at work. You pay your taxes. You hold the door open for strangers. Yet you live in a state of permanent childhood. You have to ask another grown man for permission to paint your living room wall. You have to beg to be allowed to own a dog. You live in fear that if you hang a picture frame slightly wrong, you will lose your security deposit. You are living in a box that someone else owns, and they never let you forget it. Psychologists have a term for this. They call it arrested development. But it is not because you refuse to grow up. It is because the environment refuses to let you grow up. You want to put down roots, but you are forced to be a nomad. You do not buy nice furniture because you do not know if it will fit in the next apartment. You do not get to know your neighbors because you know that in 12 months either you or they will be priced out. You live your life with one foot out the door. Always ready to pack, always ready to leave. That is not living, that is camping. And this instability bleeds into everything. It destroys relationships. Money is the #1 cause of divorce, but it is also the #1 reason why people never get married in the first place. How do you plan a wedding when you can barely plan your lease? How do you promise forever when you cannot even promise where you will be living next October? And then we have to talk about the elephant in the room. The children that are not being born. Look at the birth rates in America. They are collapsing. The media writes articles blaming millennials for being selfish. They say we prefer avocado toast over babies. That is insulting. The truth is much simpler and much darker. A child requires a nest. A child requires stability. When you are paying 50% of your income to a landlord who can evict you on a whim, having a child feels like an act of recklessness. I know people who are delaying starting a family year after year. They are waiting for the market to crash. They are waiting for a raise. They are waiting for a miracle. And while they wait, their biology is ticking away. The housing crisis is becoming a fertility crisis. We are literally pricing the next generation out of existence. And deeper down there is the shame. The quiet burning shame. You go to Thanksgiving dinner, and your uncle asks why you are still renting. He tells you that rent is throwing money away. He does not understand. He bought his house when a factory job could support a family of 4. He does not know that you are running a race with a broken leg. But you smile and you nod, and you feel like a failure. You feel like you have done something wrong. This takes a toll on your mental health. The anxiety of the first of the month. The dread of the lease renewal letter. The constant low-level panic that one bad medical bill or one layoff could put you on the street. It keeps your cortisol levels high. It keeps you from sleeping. It robs you of the peace of mind that is supposed to come with hard work. We used to have a social contract in this country. It said that if you contribute to society, you deserve a stake in it. Homeownership was that stake. It was your little square of independence. It was the place where you were the king or the queen of your domain. When you take that away, you create a society of people who feel like guests in their own country. You create a population that has nothing to lose. And history tells us that a population with nothing to lose is a very dangerous thing. So if you are sitting there watching this feeling small, feeling behind, feeling like everyone else has figured it out except you, stop. Take a breath. The game is rigged against you. The stress you feel is a rational response to an irrational market. You are not crazy. You are just trying to build a life on quicksand. And it is exhausting. I know. I see you. But understanding the trap is the first step to breaking out of it. And we are not done yet. You might be sitting there thinking that the government is coming to save you. You might think that if you just vote for the right candidate or sign enough petitions that Washington will fix the housing market. You are dreaming. And I need you to take the red pill. The government is not failing to fix the housing crisis. The government is actively ensuring that it continues. Here is the dirty secret that no politician will ever say into a microphone. They do not want home prices to go down. Why? Because 65% of American voters are homeowners. And for those 65%, their home is not just a place to sleep. It is their retirement fund. It is their piggy bank. It is the only wealth they have. If home prices drop by 20% to make them affordable for you, then 20% of the wealth of the majority of voters vanishes. They will be furious. They will march. And most importantly, they will vote the politicians out of office. So the system is paralyzed by a conflict of interest. On one hand, they say they want affordable housing for the young. On the other hand, they need high asset prices for the old. Guess who wins that fight every single time? The old. Because they vote. Let me introduce you to the real villains of this story. It is not just the hedge funds. It is your neighbors. Meet the NIMBY. Not in my backyard. These are the people who show up to town hall meetings on a Tuesday night screaming at the top of their lungs because someone wants to build a duplex down the street. They claim they are worried about traffic. They claim they are worried about the character of the neighborhood. But what they are really worried about is their property value. They treat housing scarcity like an investment strategy. They weaponize local zoning laws to make it illegal to build new supply. It is a cartel of homeowners pulling up the ladder so no one else can climb up. I want you to look at the zoning map of cities like San Francisco or San Jose. It is illegal to build an apartment building on 75% of the land. Illegal. In the land of the free, you are legally prohibited from building homes for people who need them, because a boomer who bought his house for $30,000 in 1975 wants to make sure his view does not change. This is intergenerational warfare disguised as city planning. We have created a system that prioritizes the comfort of the past over the survival of the future. We are eating our young to feed the old, and the political class is complicit. Both parties. The left complains about inequality, but their wealthiest donors are the ones blocking new construction in rich liberal cities. The right talks about the free market, but they support restrictive zoning laws that prevent the market from functioning. It is a uniparty of property owners united against you. And here is the hardest pill to swallow. The system is working exactly as it was designed to. It was designed to protect assets. It was designed to inflate wealth. It was not designed to give you a fair shot. When the Federal Reserve prints trillions of dollars, where do you think that money goes? It flows into assets, stocks and real estate. Every time they try to save the economy, they are really just inflating the bubble that is trapping you. So stop waiting for a savior. Stop waiting for a law to pass that will magically cut rent in half. It is not coming. The people in charge are the ones benefiting from the crisis. The homeowners are the majority, and in a democracy, the majority gets what they want, even if it destroys the future for the minority. You are the minority. You are the outsider at the gate. And the people inside are not going to unlock the door just because you asked nicely. You have to understand that this is not a mistake. It is a choice. A choice that America made to sacrifice its young people on the altar of property values. Do you see it now? Do you see why you feel so helpless? It is because you are fighting a gravity that was engineered to hold you down. But knowing the enemy is only half the battle. Now that you know the game is rigged, and the referees are paid off, what do you actually do? Do you give up? Do you move back into your childhood bedroom and rot? No, you change your strategy. You stop playing their game, and you start playing your own. Let me show you the exit door. Let me show you how to hack a broken system. So is this it? Is it game over? Do you simply accept your fate as a permanent serf in the kingdom of Black Rock? Do you sign the lease and die quietly? No, you are a fighter. But you cannot fight a tank with a stick. If the game is rigged, you do not keep playing by their rules. You flip the board. You change the game. The first step is the hardest because it requires you to kill your ego. You have to let go of the coastal fantasy. New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco. These cities are no longer places of opportunity. They are luxury resorts for the ultra-rich. If you stay there trying to compete with hedge fund money, you will lose. So look at the map. Look at the places the media tells you to ignore. Look at the Rust Belt. Look at the Midwest. We are living in the age of remote work. This is your superpower. If you can earn a California salary but live in Ohio, you are not just saving money. You are hacking the system. I know it is not sexy. I know your friends will not be jealous of your Instagram stories from Cleveland or Pittsburgh. But do you know what is sexy? Financial freedom. Do you know what is sexy? Owning your front door. In these markets, you can still find homes for $200,000. That is not a typo. You can buy a castle in the Midwest for the price of a parking spot in Manhattan. This is called geographic arbitrage. It is taking the money from the high-cost economy and spending it in the low-cost economy. It is the only way to beat the inflation trap. The second strategy is even more aggressive. It is called house hacking. Kill the dream of the white picket fence. That dream was sold to you by people who wanted you to take on bad debt. A single-family home is a liability. It eats money. Instead, I want you to look for the ugly ducklings. Look for a duplex, a triplex, a fourplex. Buy a property where you can live in one unit and rent out the others. This changes the math completely. Suddenly, you are not paying the mortgage. Your tenants are paying your mortgage. You are living for free. Or maybe you are even getting paid to live in your own house. Is it glamorous? No. You will have to fix toilets. You will have to deal with noise. You will have to be a landlord. But for 3 or 5 years, this sacrifice buys you a lifetime of freedom. It turns your biggest expense into your biggest asset. It turns the trap into a ladder. And finally, you need a mindset shift. The system relies on you being a consumer. It relies on you wanting the new car, the new clothes, the upgrade. They need you to be in debt, so you keep showing up to that job you hate. The ultimate rebellion is not burning down a bank. The ultimate rebellion is not needing them. When you stop trying to impress people you do not like with money, you become dangerous. You become free. I am not telling you it will be easy. I am telling you it is possible. But it requires you to be different. It requires you to be the one who leaves the cool city. It requires you to be the one who buys the ugly house. It requires you to delay gratification while everyone else is drowning in debt to look rich. The American Dream 1.0 is dead. It was murdered by greed and bad policy. But American Dream 2.0 is waiting for you. It is leaner, it is smarter, it is mobile, and it does not care about zip codes. It cares about cash flow. So pack the U-Haul, drive away from the coast, and go claim your piece of the earth before the algorithms buy that too. You have the map. Now you just need the courage to drive. Listen to me. I know this was heavy. I know you came here hoping I would tell you that interest rates will drop next week and everything will be fine. I wish I could tell you that. But I respect you too much to lie to you. The cavalry is not coming. The politicians are not coming. No one is coming to save you. You are the architect of your own rescue. But looking at the comments section, looking at this community, I see something that scares the establishment more than any regulation. I see people waking up. They bank on you being tired. They bank on you being distracted by the culture war so you do not notice the class war. They want you to feel isolated. They want you to think your struggle is a personal failure. Prove them wrong. Do not let them break your spirit. Financial literacy is the only weapon they cannot confiscate from you. Every dollar you save is a bullet. Every investment you make is a shield. Every time you refuse to play their game, you win a little bit of your freedom back. We are building something different here. This is not just a YouTube channel. This is a war room for your financial future. We are going to tear down every lie. We are going to expose every trap. And we are going to find the exits together. So if you are tired of being gaslit, if you are tired of running on the treadmill, you know what to do. Join us. Share this truth with a friend who feels like they are drowning. Tell them they are not crazy. Tell them the resistance starts now. And if you are ready to take action, if you are ready to pack your bags but you do not know where to go, do not worry. I have got your back. I broke down exactly which 5 states in America are the last safe havens for the middle class. The places where the American dream is still alive and waiting for you. I crunched the numbers in this video right here. Click it. Take the first step. Do not let them turn you into a serf. Be a strategist. I will see you on the other side.